Alrighty everyone, welcome back. We are back here at Dirtfish for some more dirt racing, and we have got the luxury McLarens, the 570S out here. We're going to see how these cars do on dirt, gravel, and asphalt. And so far, things haven't gotten off too well as we go through the small, cramped track space here and hit back and forth. I think we'll call this more the McLaren Derby on dirt than anything else. But anyways, we got the cars out here. Don't hit the wall. Yeah, we hit the wall. We got the dirt right there that we can run through if we so desire. Cars have all-terrain tires on them. So far, don't seem to be handling the best, that's for sure. Don't hit the tire there. Definitely don't want to do that. Gonna hit the tire wall though. That's gonna give us a ton of damage there on the front end and put us farther back. It's a high revving engine here, trying to keep the car going at all costs. None of the other McLarens really seem to be running that good either, if I mention that. Seemed like they were running about the same time that we were, except we just need to not hit the wall or anything like that. A little tap there once again. Now we have suspension damage, so that's going to make things slow up just a little bit here as we run through this area of the track. So this is the Boneyard run, and definitely a little bit more difficult as it's a much thinner style track than the track that we've been running so far. We'll see how this well, this thing's pretty easy. So pretty easy little joker lap here. We just can't hit the tires, which we do anyways. That's going to put more damage on that front suspension, so that's not going to help us out at all. So yeah, the car definitely doesn't like how it's driving so far. We had a McLaren get stuck on the tire there, so we actually passed somebody. So things are difficult. The car is not well suited as we hit the wall once again. Just cannot get the car to turn is the main problem we're having. So yeah, these cars definitely not suited for the dirt, which is unfortunate, but we'll see how the other McLarens handle on the dirt once we get to them. But yeah, you can just see the handling is just not what it should be to be able to get you where you need to go. We got the temperatures rising pretty quick at about 217, so that's a bit high for these particular cars. We definitely wanted to see that a little bit lower, as these are street legal McLarens. These are not modified race cars, so that's changing the game just a little bit. So almost everybody has taken their joker lap -1, but yeah, the car is not a good handling vehicle on the dirt so far whatsoever. We do have, as I said, the all-terrain tires that were supposed to help just a little bit, but just kind of drifty on the dirt, not really that good handling wise. Can't really get much grip, it seems, which is definitely causing us some grief as we try to get this car to handle. Right now we got a little bit more damage there on the front end, so a little more suspension damage on the now right suspension. Had 5 laps on this track. We might have to take that down to 4 to be able to make these laps just a little bit quicker. But yeah, the transmission and the braking and all that, definitely not the best when it comes to trying to get a good entry into a turn for this particular style of racing. We'll have to see how this car looks at the end. I doubt it's going to look complimentary, that's for sure. But yeah, this car is definitely not meant for this here. Going by the campgrounds on to our left there, so they're definitely enjoying an interesting sight to behold, that's for sure, as these $100,000 plus cars try to race on dirt. Definitely an interesting concept. I would not suggest you do this with your own car unless you're somebody named Street Speed, and then you could probably do it. Yeah, so far not a good representation of what these cars should be able to accomplish. We did get ourselves a faster lap time there, so that's certainly an improvement, but still not quite what we were looking for in results. So we got a little bit of engine damage creeping up there as we have hit like 100 250 degrees on the radiator, so that's certainly not helping. But yeah, you can't quite get a good grip, so the engine has to rev kind of high to be able to try and get grip, so you can actually shift. So that's causing us that issue with the engine. So quite a few issues with this type of car on this type of surface, and I don't think it would end very well, unfortunately, for anyone who tried it in real life. So as we finish off this lap here and the race, we will get ourselves another McLaren car, and we'll see what that can do on a similar track. As we hit the fence, almost hit the fence, like we were able to keep it off of it. But yeah, not a good result for the McLaren, that's for sure. Let's go try another car. Alright guys, here we are with another McLaren. We're going to see how these guys do on another variation of Dirtfish here for the McLarens on dirt. Don't forget, every day is track day. You can check out the track day merch, whether it's mugs, shirts, or hats. You can check it out at Combustion Gamer Gear. As we got these cars now rolling around here on the track. So this one has a little bit more asphalt and concrete at the moment, as we can see, as we already have cars losing parts so far. And we have avoided damage at the moment. These cars do not have good brakes, I can tell you that right now. Not good brakes at all. I would definitely recommend a brake upgrade. So we got plenty of good acceleration points to be able to use here. The thing is, can we get it done? And this car is very, very, very twitchy. Extremely twitchy. I'm not liking how twitchy it is as we hit the wall there. Tire barrier. Oh, good night. This car handles awful. It does not turn. We'll go ahead and get our Joker lap done, because I doubt it's going to be much of a help to us. Oh, good night. The car handles awful. Not a good car. We got the all-terrain tires on once again to be able to help us get around the track. But yeah, it is not a happy car, that's for sure. Not a happy car whatsoever. The front end feels like you're on a ginormous ball, to put it mildly, that's bouncing around almost. That's what the suspension feels like. Like the tires are sitting between a giant ball and can barely touch the ground. It's just beach ball, basically, I guess. Just a rather deflated beach ball. There's an awful feeling up there, that's for sure. Cannot get a good... Look at that. I mean, it is... Wow, that is awful feeling. That is awful feeling. Not a good car whatsoever there. And we hit the wall once again. It is a bad car, that's for sure. Once again, not meant for this whatsoever. So all the people that came out for McLaren Derby on McLaren Derby on dirt, they're definitely getting a show seeing these multi-$1,000 cars race around on dirt here. But yeah, these cars do not handle this well at all. Got more bumpers and parts laying around on track, and so far none of them are mine. We do have damage, but luckily not enough to take our bumper off. So can we get a podium by everyone else wrecking out? And we're gonna get night. This car does not brake and does not turn while braking. It is awful. We already got some higher temperatures running now. Gonna run through here nice and easy. So this is gravel right here. It is just an awful handling car, that's for sure. So these have been the street cars. We'll have to try one of the race cars to really be able to hopefully get something improved into the wall. We got some engine damage starting to pile up with the higher temperature running. I mean, this car was just not set up for a good, slow road race. It's probably pretty good on once you get going on straight speed with the downforce and stuff, but it does not handle good. Does not turn under braking. Does not turn under braking whatsoever, which makes it very, 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 very unfun to drive. It cannot drive itself for anything. Good night. If you shift in the second gear, you can get something going, but yeah, it is just not doing a good job on that. If You really do have to just keep it slow to be able to get around these turns, because it just does not want to handle anything. By the way, that's a beautiful truck right there, like that. See if we can't get it to rotate. So we got quite a bit of damage on the car. Luckily, none of it's suspension damage. I think the suspension was already broke when we got it, because it just handles awful. There goes our bumper. Alright, now we got suspension damage. We got 10% in the back and 9% in the front, so that's not good. But yeah, I would not drive this car. If it actually drove like this, because this thing drives awful. It definitely needs some sort of help. I'm not sure what to give it, but it needs something in the setup to really stiffen up the car, because it just rolls so badly and does not grip anything that it's driving on, which is very, very bad. So we'll be able to finish it, maybe. Yeah, there's more damage to the front. More suspension damage up there as well. We definitely haven't blown up our engine too badly though, but we're at 240 on the temperature, so that's definitely not helping things in the engine department, as we just cannot get this car to handle like it should. But yeah, brakes are definitely something that this car would need, because it does not brake very well. And we're using the brakes quite a bit too, so let's see here. I mean, the brakes were a little bit cold on the front, but still, it should have been braking far better than it was with how much we've been hitting the brakes. So I'm not sure what this car needs other than brakes, suspension, and maybe some different RPMs and gear setups to really help it. But it just, look at this, it just does not want to turn whatsoever. That is awful feeling. Alright, definitely not a car we're going to be driving on the dirt anytime soon, as it is basically destroyed there. Alright guys, we got ourselves the 570S here, the race car edition. We'll see how this car handles the dirt. And here we go. Off to the races. All-terrain tires have been installed, and we'll see how these cars handle. So far, we have improvement. Definitely feels a lot better than the previous cars. Of course, those were street cars, so we can't expect too much from those. Running around. But definitely feels a little bit better. A little bit on the slow side, I'd have to say. It's still far better handling-wise than their street competitors. We'll have to try the P1 McLaren to truly finish things off. That has a lot of downforce and a lot of speed, but we'll have to see if that handles any better than the previous cars we have driven, because those definitely were not some of the best to try on tracks like this. There we go, got one guy peeling off for the Joker lap. And of course we have 5 laps to go on this track, as we normally race 6, so that's going to change things up just a tad bit. Want to make sure that we get that Joker in before the end of the race. But yeah, this car definitely handles a lot smoother and actually has pretty good response to how this track works. And it actually turns under lack of acceleration, so huge benefits right there. Yeah, it turns much better. I'm not sure what it is, but those cars, they just have so much body roll. They just do not handle the turns very well at all. So there we go, a 7-second faster lap time. That's without taking the Joker lap, so we're just having a faster lap. Almost hit the wall here. A little bit of a tap, not too bad. Got 12% damage on the front end, so that's not really good, but not too bad. So we can't squid through here. we're actually doing pretty good on time. Car definitely does a good job. We don't want to hit the tire, that's for sure. Got a little bit wide there, not too bad. We'll still should end up with a faster time. Ever so slightly slower, actually. We were doing pretty good there until we hit that the wide angle on that turn wrong, so that didn't help. Coming out of the joke lap, that's another 5 seconds off of our time. About. It's an odd sounding engine. Sounds very sick, I gotta have to say. Coming around. There we go, about 4 seconds and a half faster with the joke lap included, so that ended up being pretty good. We slowed things down there just a tad by taking the regular route. Yeah, we're actually hitting this track pretty good and pretty fast. We got 2 guys that haven't gotten their joker lap done, but we're actually going to do a pretty good job here with this particular car. We'll have to try the P1 McLaren on this track and see how it handles. Hopefully it'll handle pretty good, but I'm not sure. So you say, is it the track, or is it the driver on the track, or is it the car? Well, I can tell you that those first 2 McLarens did not handle very good, whereas this handles much better. So I don't think it's really the track as much as the car not handling well. That was fun, though. Alright guys, here we go. Final race of the day. So we had the McLaren P1 all-terrain tires. We got the ride heights changed up a tad. Let's see how this particular car handles. Definitely fast. Can it handle the different terrain, as these cars are pretty loose out here? Going to hit the wall there just a tad, a little bit of a scrape, not too bad. And this car definitely seems so far to handle ever so slightly better than its previous street legal compatriots. Definitely like how it's doing so far. I just want to take somebody out that's going to give us a little front end damage, not too bad though. But we definitely got a bit of a suspension issue now. Hitting the high-speed area of the track, hitting almost 100 miles an hour as we hit our compatriots here on the track there. So that's not exactly what we want to be doing, racking up damage this early on in the run, but can't exactly be helped. Definitely doesn't have the best braking that I've experienced. A little bit better than the previous, or the very last street McLaren we drove, but still not the best that it could be. But these cars are fast, that's for sure. Try to shift up here. We've got cars coming through the joker lap there, some successful, some not. As we hit another car, that's going to end up, there we go, a little more damage back and forth. So the guys that came out here for the McLaren Derby Fest are certainly having a good show of several $100,000 worth of cars get beat up, that's for sure. Yeah, these cars definitely do not have the brakes of the previous car that we drove, so we'll have to see how that all transpires here at the end. Also watching the temperature, and the temperature's going up pretty high there already. We're at 197. Go ahead and get our joker lap done here if we can turn. We can get down to gear 1 here as we make our turn. Shift up to 2. And we got through there fairly quickly as we start heading through the little shed here. A little bit of damage there added as well. Got that suspension damage that's causing the car to kind of shift around a little bit more than I would like. That's going to cause a little bit more damage there. We also got that temperature's really starting to creep up on us. At 2:15, 13, car does not want to turn. And we have our fastest lap right there, knocked off 5 seconds of our previous time. So that's really good there on the Delta. car just does not really slow up very good. Yeah, it has about the same issues as the other cars. Definitely not quite as bad. Definitely has a little bit better handling on the different terrains and stuff, but still just not quite as good as the actual race car variant of the McLaren. You can see it does not brake. A lot of damage on the car now, so that's causing us some issues. More damage to the suspension. So that's going to cause us probably to drop out of the podium finish at first we were hoping for here. Getting hit from behind, that's definitely not helping things. We got one guy who's trying to take the Joker lap. He ends up failing that attempt, and he's going to end up falling back there, as he will not have successfully done his Joker lap, and we cannot turn here through the dirt. Trying to get it going here, hoping for that second place finish. Alright, we get through that. Heading on forward. We actually get the car to brake slightly, still hit the wall, which is but not what we were wanting to have happen. We're definitely going to get second here, as we cannot really get this guy in front of us here, but still definitely better than some of the other street legal McLarens we've drove, but still could use some help when it comes to the actual driving. And we actually kept all the fenders on the car, so that's neat. Alright guys, so there we are with McLarens on dirt. Definitely not one of the cars that I would recommend unless you're doing the 520 or 570S race car variant, but still interesting to try nonetheless. But yeah, I definitely would not recommend these cars on the dirt, because they don't handle quite as well as they probably should. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the links below for all my other channels, and we'll see you guys here next time for another, hopefully, episode of Wacky Wednesday. See you then. Bye bye.